The warehouse was vast, probably 50 meters long, 30 wide, ceiling lost in shadows and steel rafters. But it had been transformed. Parachutes in neon colors draped from the ceiling, billowing gently in the heat generated by hundreds of bodies. Christmas lights and strobes created a galaxy of moving color. A massive sound system, speakers stacked to the ceiling, pulsed with a relentless 4/4 beat that Maya felt in her chest, her throat, her bones. But the music was alien and familiar at once. A TB-303 acid line spiraled upward, squealing and burbling like it was alive, while a drum machine locked everything into a hypnotic groove. Samples, voices, sirens, snatches of other songs, appeared and disappeared. It was minimal but massive, repetitive but constantly evolving. Each element simple, but the sum total overwhelming. And the people. God, the people. The dance floor was packed, hundreds moving as one organism yet each in their own universe. Some danced with abandon, arms raised, faces tilted toward the lights. Others shuffled in place, locked into the groove. A shirtless man with silver body paint stood motionless in the center, eyes closed, tears streaming down his face. Near the speakers, a girl in a wedding dress, why a wedding dress, spun in endless circles. "This is just the warm-up room," Jade shouted in Maya's ear. "There are 3 more spaces. Different DJs in each. Come on." They pushed through the crowd. Maya's senses were overwhelmed. The smell of sweat and smoke machines, the visual chaos of the lights, the bass that seemed to replace her heartbeat. But more than anything, she felt the energy. It was like everyone had brought their joy, their pain, their whole selves, and poured it into the collective experience. No one was watching, no one was judging. Everyone was just there, present, free. The second room was smaller, the music deeper and darker. The third had a garage vibe. The fourth was pure breakbeat madness. Each space had its own vibe, its own tribe, but people flowed between them freely, drawn by curiosity or the need for a different frequency. In a corridor between rooms, Maya found the chill-out space, cushions and blankets scattered across the floor, ambient music drifting from smaller speakers, people lying in tangles of limbs, talking or simply breathing. A boy sat cross-legged, drawing elaborate patterns in a sketchbook by the light of a glow stick. A group passed around a bottle of water like it was sacred. First time. A guy with dreadlocks and a Shiver t-shirt smiled at her. Maya nodded, not trusting her voice. "Welcome home," he said simply. Part 4, the community. As the night deepened, or was it becoming morning, Maya began to understand what Danny had meant. This wasn't a club. Clubs had rules, hierarchies, velvet ropes, and VIP sections. Clubs were about who you knew, what you wore, who you could impress. This was different. This was utopian in the truest sense, a temporary autonomous zone where the normal rules of society were suspended. She danced. God, how she danced. At first self-consciously, still carrying the weight of her daytime self. But the music was patient, insistent. The acid lines wormed into her brain, the bass shook loose her inhibitions. Around her, people smiled, not in judgment but in encouragement. A woman in her 50s, wearing a Manchester City jersey and glow-stick necklaces, took her hands and spun her around. They laughed without knowing each other's names. Between sessions on the dance floor, she explored. In one corner, she found a makeshift bar selling water and energy drinks. "No alcohol," she noted. "We're here for the music, not to get wasted," explained the bartender, a guy with gentle eyes and a t-shirt that read "Peace, Love, Unity, Respect." Near the entrance, volunteers handed out earplugs, leaflets about harm reduction, and fruit. Actual fruit, apples and oranges stacked in crates. "Got to look after each other," said a girl no older than Maya, wearing a Red Cross armband over her rave outfit. "Anyone feels funny, come find me or anyone with these." She pointed to her armband. "No questions, no judgment. We're all in this together." Maya found Jade in the main room, dancing with a group that had clearly known each other for years. They welcomed Maya into their circle without hesitation. There was Marcus, the DJ who'd been spinning records since the Hacienda days. Lisa and Joe, a couple who'd met at a party just like this one. Chen, A university student who should have been studying for finals but couldn't resist the call. Mikey, whose real job was in IT but whose soul belonged to the dance floor. "This is what we come for," Marcus shouted over the music during a brief lull. "Not just the tunes, yeah? It's this. All of us together. Doesn't matter what we do Monday to Friday. In here, we're just humans having a moment of transcendence together." "It's like church," Joe added, "if church actually made you feel something." The fashion was part of the language, Maya realized. No one dressed to impress, they dressed to express. Baggy was the norm, comfort prioritized over style, yet style emerged anyway. Bright colors and smiley faces were everywhere, a visual representation of the PLUR philosophy. She saw a guy in full camouflage matched with a tutu and fairy wings, girls in Joe Blogg's jeans and cropped tops, whistles hanging from their necks, the uniform of the serious raver. Wallabies, wide-legged jeans, and a hood of vintage Adidas and Fila tracksuits in eye-watering color combinations, bucket hats, baseball caps worn backward, bandanas, body glitter catching the strobe lights like tiny galaxies. But beneath the variety was a unifying principle. Nobody was trying to look sexy or intimidating. The fashion rejected the posturing of mainstream clubs. Baggy clothes meant you could dance for hours without restriction. Comfortable shoes meant you could lose yourself in the music without pain. It was practical, yes, but also philosophical, a rejection of the male gaze, of competition, of everything that made regular nightlife feel like a battleground.